don't have a way to really kill him. They need to get like silence from Silence onto Lifestealer and then capitalize on that and kill him before he can like kill it. So I think I think Lifestealer is kind of a strong last pick for survivability and survivability. It is the sustained damage lacking. So I like that.
Well,
I think I'd like to. I feel like Kunkka is sturdy enough to sit top while the supports move. As well, the lane is pushing in, which is basically perfect for Kuku. When the creeps are just outside his tower, there's pretty much no way he should be able to die. Zephyr's already rotating over to the mid lane, which makes sense. I was enjoying the parallel between Raven and Gabby. They both just have like multiple gauntlets and a helm of Iron Will. It's the same items. I am a strength carry. I build armlet. What does an offlane Kunkka build actually? That's what I'm curious to see. He's got double bracer, which is kind of standard for most strength offlaners. But I was wondering if he'd still go like an armlet. Oh, Zephyr. This is good for him to buy a halberd.
If they knew what was good for them, they would run.
Weaver does it again! What can you do?
Radiant's middle tower.
I like the idea from Zephyr because he was heading mid to make the plays, expecting other people to come there or mid to need his help.
This guy's typically.
You love me.
That is so sad. Right, he just used the drunken brawler and the extra move speed just helped him shoot child away the arrow. Yeah, it's nice to keep your map like more open for yourself for so long. Like playing tower alive. Obviously like the standard way of playing Dota is you take the same tower.
Oh, they've got the Brewmaster. They need a person before he pops that primal split. Have they got the damage from the top of the ghost ship? I believe they do. Sonic Wave to make sure of it. They knew this time around Japs had a primal split, so they had to try and burst him fast, and they did just that. But they lose the tower, kill the Brewmaster, and Fnatic say, okay.
I think they both. I think this game will come down. Good job.
They're trying to throw the primal split. Gabby, this time around, no rage to the four going down. So the first kill Fnatic find is a pretty big one.
He got way too there. He's like, yeah, I'm standing in the middle of like
Bringing up on Raven. Raven just he's doing Raven things. He's hitting up the jungle. He's gonna go straight into that Death Slater, and TNT1 can do a good job punching this one. Now Jab's down in their own jungle. I'm not sure they've got a good way to keep Jabs alive, and Zhao is just like, I'm bailing. They'll give up one to retreat and farm other parts of the map. You know, like you kind of mentioned, getting a bit too big for his britches after the previous two games he just raged it out, so perhaps he's like, okay, let's go be aggressive. Learning his lesson. As another kill going to go the way of T1. This time in the mid lane again, it's Jabs. He's the one who's been kind of unfortunately forced to farm some of the more dangerous parts of the map, and yeah. And unlike T1, like for T1, if they were facing, if they have a disruption save, so this time around Fnatic will get the jump in the mid lane, but there's a disruption save. He goes to the hero. Disruption is there, but he does get caught by the he comes out, but the Queen of Pain gets bailed out. Now the Ghost Ship rolling in as well. They've taken out the Boat Spirit. Raven's getting out. He's got the reincarnation to give him a second life here, but will Fnatic have the firepower to take this one? They've gone in with the primal split. Jabs trying to zone them out, and now with Raven following them up, they may have enough damage, but a great infest as they go into the Marauder. They need to finish her off to get the lifesteal of it. Looks like Zephyr's going to get back to safety, and with the Queen of Pain finishing off the back lines, suddenly it's a 5 versus 3. Kuku for himself advantage into Torrent. They get the Brewmaster. They've gotten 3. Great execution there for that team fight for T1.
That was so nice. That was so nice.
Little smoke rotation from T1. They were, I think, looking for some bigger fish to fry, but they do catch out the poor Grimstroke. But I think good news for Fnatic is that didn't catch a core, but there's still potential for Arnold to get caught here in the mid lane. He gets disrupted. Bolt could come in, but Wraith just blinked on the Shadow Demon instantly. Deleting him. The arrow going to come flying through, but the Orchid on the Wraith King not going to do a whole lot except stop him from throwing out another stun, which is still on cooldown. Fnatic maybe looking for another follow-up initiation. The Blink Wraith King coming up in a couple of seconds, and he's found the Mirana with Armel following it up, and they're going to catch Zephyr as well. So T1 getting it in a bit too deep there and finding the wrong targets. Really well played. Got themselves this Ag Scepter. They've got that Armlet Esso and Wraith King, and they're ready to fight. They finished the Ag Scepter on Brewmaster as well. They jump in with Raven. They found the Shadow Demon. That's the big target they want to kill off first, but can they do this with the Infest to heal him up a little bit? They get the Soulbind as well. The damage is just there to finish him off. Raven is going to lose his first life on the Wraith King. Shadow Demon even going to buy back to try and make sure this fight goes well from the Sonic Wave. A complete whip from Carl. As both teams, I believe, going to look to disengage with the Shadow Demon buyback. It seems like Fnatic happy just to respect T1's strength here and disengage for the time being.
I think they can just go again on Fnatic. Japs has they have another split.
T1's smoking it.
White one had been in position there to catch Armel with disruption. The Mirana's mid with Call right now. While this is all happening, they go Ravens pushing bot.
Yeah, outside of the Wraith King, they don't have a good way. Maybe the Ag Scepter on Void Spirit changes that. See Raven here on the front line. He gets managed up, but he's got backup right behind him. Arnold jumps on the back lane. He's looking for the white Mon Shadow Demon. Wants to take out the slots to start this fight, and he'll do just that. Armel could be in some trouble. He's been demonic purged here, and Gabby's life steal trying to finish him up. Armel gets out of there with the Astral Step, and they've also taken out one more. Raven's Wraith King doing a bit too much damage for them to handle here. The Ghost Ship going to come flying through, and this time on a DJ's Weaver tree. He'll Shikuchi himself out of there. Another time lapse in 1 second, so he's got that extra bit of save there. Cuckoo goes to the BKB TP out. Nothing to cancel that. Same story for the Lifestealer with his TP out, so Fnatic win themselves another fight.
I watched Gabby during that whole so he doesn't have a battery or anything of his own. I know some
Pulls back in, and actually get this kill. He forces out a BKB and the Infest for some heals. Fnatic maybe just thinking they need to disengage here. The arrow going to go flying through, not catching anybody, but they forced out a quad BKB.
Playing bot, playing in Roshan spawns, top. Look at all these boys. They've worked for days for their own jungles. They have perfect vision of the area.
Well, force a BKB in the mid lane, but holding the life stealer. He's got a double damage, so Gabby wants to try to fight his way through this one, but he's kind of isolated here. He's being stunned up, dusted now as well, so they see him. Can they bring him down here? They're just throwing him up in the air with the Cyclone. Ask him to drop him, but the Remnant not going to land as he pops the Rage on landing. BKB from the Kunkka as well to keep him alive. Neither team taking any losses just yet, and it looks like full disengage from T1 as Fnatic unable to connect on any of those kills.
Dude, this game sucks.
Playing a scary situation.
This game sucks.
No one's dying.
No one's dying, guys. It's not fair. I want blood.
That level 1 5v5 was just like a precursor for how the entire game will go. Yeah, they'll 5v5 and no one will die. Fnatic saying, okay, don't worry, we got you, Chico. Show you some kills. Gabby, oh my god, he's gonna like to get through the boat, catches 3! T1 with a sick turnaround! The Kunkka from Cuckoo blows up jabs, and he's looking for Armel next, whose BKB is still on cooldown. Does get himself back to the low ground, and instead it's going to be Grimstroke taking a spill, and that should be able to set up T1 to secure themselves for Roshan. What a turnaround coming out from Cuckoo's Kunkka.
But you don't see, I don't think Gabby even got saved. Managed to get raided off and live. Whether that's a failure, bringing together. What? I mean, obviously Cuckoo. Heavy lifting. He's on first.
Raven tried to blink in mid, but couldn't get the Inkswell Sun with his blink initiation. He's going to lose his first life here, although nope, he gets bailed up by the time lapse. Nicely done by DJ to catch him just at the last second to save his life there. Does have the reincarnation to play around, but Jab's in the front lines. His primal split warriors are just getting shredded by lifesteal. That's, you know, one hero lifesteal is pretty good against as well in the late game. Is this Brewmaster? He just doesn't care about these spirits.
I think Brew feels sad. In the triangle, I think the massive part of that fight going badly was that Jab's being
Needed to. Suddenly T1 are the ones on the front foot, and they may be looking to go high ground here. In, Carl, doing what he can. He's got the Lincoln Sphere to play around. He's going to be a little bit careful here. Xbox could cause him some problems. Instead, it looks like T1 just going to focus the objectives. Gabby gets the tier 3 tower, and they just say, that's enough for now. Look for a reset. Look for another catches. One, not fully backing off here. They are looking to keep the pressure on and maybe force this Void Spirit to buy back. Armel going to hold on to it for now. They're going to go again. They're going to put Gabby on the high ground with that Solar Crest and Armor, just doing what he can to bring down this melee Rax. And pressure's now on. Jab has those primal splits if he wants to use them. He popped the refresher and everything. Doing some decent damage to Gabby's first life, but with the Aegis to play around, they're just going to get a full lane of Rax for free, and they're going to swing themselves up. There's sort of a minute and a half, and Fnatic may just find themselves going down a second lane here unless they can buy time to take a 5 minute Void Spirit reset. Go in with the Raven. Raven, he blinks in, but don't have the damage for Gabby just yet. He's getting low. Can they do this one? He turns with the Rage. He's just flexing his way through this one. They just take out the Rage. And sort of 5 goes down. And maybe going to be able to kill him the second time. He can't get the BKB off, and they lose Raid King. Raven's down. T1 going to go for the Rax now. It looks like it's Jab's in the front line with the primal split. I'm not respawn, but the disruption saves are there to bail out the Mirana for now. Leap out as well to keep alive, and Armel just forced a BKB and watch his teammates die. Jumping in the backline, Januel. He's got absolutely nothing to get this Queen of Pain off of him, and Carl is going to clean up the backlines. He's godlike, and T1 are just crushing Fnatic in these team fights. They get that second lane of Rax, but more importantly, they force multiple buybacks, get some key kills, and find themselves GG. It's over, Sheepa.
I would also call it my reliever
Yeah. He's like, it's a Raid King, he'll be fine. Oh, whoops, did I not push my ultimate?
He was just out of